People who have faked their own death. What's your story? I was 6 years old at the time and dying of boredom. I wanted to express that death. So I went into the bathroom, spilled my mother's red nail polish all over me, and laid down on the floor with my tongue sticking out. After about 5 minutes of laying there, my dad finally walked in. He stared at me for about 3 seconds, and then stepped over my lifeless body to reach the sink, where he proceeded to brush his teeth. No questions were asked. Literally killed myself to escape an obsessive online friend. I took on a whole-ass new role and pretended to be my sister. Texted this friend from another number, expressing that I had tragically committed suicide. This friend stopped stalking me. I switched my social media and everything. They still follow my old accounts, which are basically memorials of my dead self. So, yeah, there's a weird ex-friend who experienced my death in living color, and probably still thinks about me in past tense. You're gonna need a serious tag. I pretended that I couldn't swim and went out on a boating trip during a storm. When my husband wasn't looking, I jumped over the side and swam to shore. I then threw my ring in the toilet and hopped a bus to the middle of nowhere. Well, I killed myself in prison August 10th, 2019. Shush, I'm supposed to be dead. Nice try government, but you won't get me that easily. Try harder than this, Internal Revenue Service. When I was in school, I was extremely depressed, on the verge of suicide level, and left without telling anyone. They all caused me a lot of trauma and contributed greatly to the way I felt. I never wanted to see or hear from them again. People assumed I died after I had left. I just never corrected them. They had no way of knowing anything of me as I never had social media and stayed home all day. I wonder if they still think that sometimes. Unfortunately, I died, but I lived. My death was greatly exaggerated. When I was younger, we'd go to the public pool and I'd lie face up, floating on the surface of the pool. I waited for someone to get concerned, but no one did, and I eventually got back to doing something else to escape from a whole organization. It's late, so I'll edit this later to explain. Nice try, FBI. Nice try, uncle, but you're not getting the money on my will. I once lied down at the bottom of my friend's stairs when I was a kid and pretended to be unconscious. His mom found me and rushed to me. She was so panicked that she started crying whilst trying to shake me awake. I felt bad for a long time. Still do. I knew a guy who claims his scout troop and scoutmaster all faked their deaths for insurance money. His friends had to go through life without legally existing. No school. Never use his name. More trouble than it was worth, I think. Also, a drug pusher faked his own death when a mutilated corpse came up in the city, so that he couldn't be arrested when he got caught for drugs because he had no identity. A bunch of people are arguing over whether I killed myself or the Clintons did. Lol, I'm just chillin' on my island. Well, you see, my family was cursed by a witch many generations ago that the firstborn girl in their family line would be an outcast until a blue blood loved them for who they were. I was the firstborn and I was born with a big nose. My parents faked my death so the world wouldn't find out. I had to get out of a super toxic online community and I had no idea how to do it without being harassed. So I faked my death and posed as my best friend, saying I got in a car accident. It worked, and I got out of that place. I died in pretend. Planned a fake funeral on a day I knew 340 people would be there stopping traffic for a totally different reason. Relieved face. Not going into specifics, but it's not that hard, as people will most likely assume the worst if you just vanish. Before that though, you would probably want to change how you look very drastically. You don't want anybody you care about to remember how you look like before, because you would probably return to looking like that eventually. Don't do anything permanent. This means tattoos and piercings, as they can identify you with those in the future. Dye your hair. Do makeup that's really different from how you like to do it. Or even start adjusting your nose with latex. The version they see of you last must be as different as possible from the version you were before, as that is the version you want to come back to once this is over. Just hastily move another place, meaning that you must sell or dump everything the same day, and no garage sales. Everything you once owned can and will be replaced. If people are that curious, leave a tape somewhere you used to hang out at saying, "I'm not here anymore." Like Ms. Baker. Delete all your accounts, and if any of them have a high number of followers, 10,000 or more, people will definitely just think you're dead. From there, just change your name, dye back your hair, and start acting like you are very naive. People love acting better than you and will show you how to create accounts for social media that you definitely never had before, and would probably make it their mission to introduce you to others. The next step is to get established there and never look back. I told my family I was dead inside because of the toxic environment my family was. Then I ran away from them. I was lazy to go to church, so I simply imitated that I was asleep. My parents tried to wake me up, but I was still asleep. Then, my parents thought that I was dead, so to confirm that, they almost spilled a bucket of water over me. I woke up cause I didn't want it to be wet.